This video is presented by Western and Southern Financial Group, a game plan for your financial future. Every great team starts with a strong foundation, and your future should too. With life insurance built like a championship roster, Western and Southern helps protect what matters most, so you can focus on winning today while planning for tomorrow. Whether you're just starting your journey, building your dynasty, or ready to retire like a champion, Western and Southern has the right play for your life stage. Visit westernsouthern.com to get your free life insurance quote today. Western and Southern, built to win. All right, next up, we got James Madison, the final team in the college football playoff, the number 12 seed, the James Madison Dukes, coached by Bob Chesney. They went 12-1 this year. They won the Sun Belt Championship as well. James Madison's path to the national title game. They are at Oregon in the first round. If they win that game, they'll play Texas Tech in the quarterfinal in the Orange Bowl. If they win that game, they'll move on to the semifinals to take on either Indiana, Oklahoma, or Alabama. That would be in the Peach Bowl. And listen, Curt Cignetti, of course, left James Madison a couple years ago for Indiana. They have still been, though, outstanding under Bob Chesney. The Dukes have been a 12-1 record this year, their best record since joining the FBS in 2022, even better than anything that Curt Cignetti did at James Madison. That also included James Madison's first Sun Belt Championship. Like Cignetti, Bob Chesney will be leaving James Madison for the Big Ten because he did accept the UCLA job, but also, like John Sumrall at Tulane, he'll be allowed to see the Dukes through their playoff run. That begins in the first round against another Big Ten team in an 11-1 Oregon squad.
Yeah, I mean, this James Madison program, what more can you say about him, right? Cignetti leaves, and he took a lot of talent with him a couple of years back to Indiana with him, and now Bob Chesney took it over, and they've just had two outstanding years, just missed out on the Sun Belt title game last year. They run through the Sun Belt this year. They were, they had the best record among all the group of six teams, right, at 12-1. And the only loss, keep in mind, was a two-score loss to Louisville in a game where they were tied pretty late in that game, and then Louisville took over in the fourth quarter. But no, this is a good football team with a really good defense. And you know what? It might be circumstantial with Duke winning the ACC and all that, but they've certainly played well enough and earned their spot to be here.
And Dalton, this defense has just been, I would argue, the best group of six defense we have had in college football this year.
No, it's one of the best defenses in the country, Max. You look at all three levels of this team, this defensive line, Sahir West, and this defensive line. You've got an outstanding secondary with a top 5 coverage grade in the country. You've got Trent Hendrick at linebacker. They are really good at all three levels. How about top 10 in run defense grade, pass rush grade, and coverage grade? Only one other team, and you've mentioned them today, that's top 10 in all three, and they're actually number 1 in all three, and that's Texas Tech. That's how much this James Madison defense has been dominating. You saw it even in a game where they were struggling offensively in the Sun Belt title game against Troy. Their defense dominated, especially their defensive line. So don't expect their defense to just go out to Eugene and roll over. This is a really good unit at all three levels.
Yeah, 25% successful play rate allowed, second best in the country, too. So, yeah, James Madison's defense has been really, really good this year. We'll see how it is against Oregon and that elite offense they have too. I'm looking at, for the weakness, can they get enough out of the passing game to avoid being completely one-dimensional offensively? Because their entire offense is centered around their ground game, but they're going to need the passing attack to do something in order to pull off a huge upset in the first round over Oregon. Right now, they're 58th in EPA per pass this year, and their quarterback, Alonzo Barnett, is only 80th and passing grade on the year. He's a great runner, Dalton, but he's been a little shaky as a passer this year.
Yeah, and look, an odd road for Barnett after he tore his ACL in their last regular season game last year, so he was recovering from that. Then he comes back, and Bob Chesney gets his former Holy Cross starter, Matt Sluka, in from UNLV, and he comes in to compete for the job, but Barnett comes back, and he wins the job anyway. And I think the things to know about him are this. Look, he's got an 88 PFF grade since week 8, 8th best in the country. So he's played his best football as he's gotten 100% healthy, and he's gotten into the second half of this season. He's a really darn good athlete, a dangerous runner. You talk about Wayne Knight in this running game. You're going to talk about the star tailback Wayne Knight in a second, but Barnett and the option threat and the scrambling threat that he adds on the ground is big time. And then when it does come to making big plays in the passing game, too, guys like Landon Ellis and Braden Wisłowski, talking about big plays down the middle of the field. They want to reel linebackers and safeties into the run game, and they want to throw it over their heads between the numbers. That's where Barnett makes his big play. So if you allow this James Madison team to get in the rhythm of their run run game, Barnett can really hurt you with big plays. He can hurt you in the option game, and he can hurt you throwing down the middle of the field. Fun matchup there you have with Dylan Thieneman in this first round and those Oregon safeties against Barnett and his ability to hurt you down the middle.
Yeah, I'm looking at, of course, I mentioned before how the entire offense is centered around the ground game, and, well, it's because Wayne Knight is a great running back for James Madison, too. 1,258 rushing yards for the junior so far this year. That's 10th among all running backs in the country. He averages 6.7 yards per carry. That's 16th among all running backs in the nation. He also has 20 carries of 15 or more yards. That's tied for 5th in the nation. Also, very dynamic receiver out of the backfield, too, with the 5th most receiving yards among all running backs in the nation at 373. He's got good speed out there. He can obviously hit home runs when James Madison needs him to. He has been the center of the Duke's offense this year.
No, absolutely. Knight really is the engine now, and he's emerged because we came into the year thinking maybe it would be George Pettaway as the feature back here with James Madison, but Knight has emerged, especially down the stretch this season. Huge game in the Sun Belt title game he had against Troy, just outstanding. But no, I mean, those two guys in the backfield, Knight and Barnett, really need to guide this offense. They need to be able to run the football if they want to win games in this playoff.
A lot of people saying James Madison's Twitter can beat anyone in the playoff.
That's true. Have you seen all that?
They're
this
incredible,
week, man?
They're
Wow.
incredible. They're one of the best fan bases in the country. I think,
their social team is on it this week, man. They have just been on it lately going into this game.
Someone posted like a slow-mo video that Oregon had of Dante Moore, like a beautiful touchdown pass, and like, damn, Oregon looks slow out here. If this is going to look like in the game, like, we're going to kill them, man.
Oh yeah, they are fully embracing. They're fully embracing just their role in all of this. I
love
sure. But man, but seriously,
they're dangerous though.
Their run game and their defense especially. Go back and watch the way they played Louisville. That game was tied at 14 very late in that game. Producer Quinn back there was pretty nervous about it for a while, and you know, this team, their defense can keep them in it. Absolutely. It's just a matter of can they get enough balance on offense.
Who is the star defender that you want to talk about for that defense?
There's so many of them, but we'll talk about the leader, the middle linebacker, Trent Hedrick, the 10th highest graded linebacker in college football, 89.9 run defense grade. He's got 3 pass breakups in coverage, and a top 10 most valuable linebacker in college football, according to PFF's wins above average metric. Look, they got a great defensive line. There's a great secondary behind them, but Trent Hedrick in the middle of it, their highest graded player, as the leader of their defense, he's been getting it done in all facets all season. Been a fantastic season for him.
Definitely. All right, Dalton. Again, like Tulane, how real are James Madison's chances of pulling off a colossal upset in the first round over Oregon?
This is all about their defense, right? And they say defense travels in those road games, right? And they do, from by all accounts. And they played a really good game against a Power 4 team in Louisville and a good offense in that earlier this year, despite the loss. Their defensive line, I think, has a really fun task against Oregon's offensive line that leads the nation in pass blocking grade, right? If they can compete on the defensive line and then just prevent those explosive plays, and they've done a great job of it all year. The secondary has just been outstanding as well. They have an outstanding group of corners, and they play a whole lot of man coverage. Certainly curious to see if they're going to do that. They run man coverage at one of the highest rates in the country. So if their defense keeps them in it and they can play their style of football on offense and just not get caught in too many obvious passing situations. That's really the problem for them, is can they avoid 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8? Can they avoid the drop back game? Much better when Barnett can get into play action and the run game is keeping them on schedule. But their defense is dangerous. If you take them lightly, if you don't take this James Madison defense seriously, they can stay in football games, right? And their defense, even in games where their offense has struggled a bit, right? You think about that, again, the Louisville game, or you think about the Sun Belt title game against Troy. Their offense was struggling early in that game. Defense kept them in it, made big plays, who were really good in the trenches. So they've got a shot if they can slow the game down and they can get early stops.
Yeah, they have not allowed 30 points in any game this year, including the Louisville game when they gave up 28 points in their loss to Louisville. And I mentioned before in the Oregon preview, for Oregon, I mentioned before how their run defense has been kind of an issue for them this year. James Madison's got a pretty good run game too. So I'm not saying they're going to beat Oregon, but I am saying Oregon's got to treat this game seriously. You can't just overlook them and say, okay, how are we going to beat Texas Tech in the next round? You got to treat them seriously, because James Madison's a very dangerous team in the out of the group of 6 right now, with a great defense and a really good run game too. If they can get anything out of Barnett as a passer against an elite Oregon secondary, that will increase their chances of having an upset over Oregon too. But again, Oregon cannot take this team lightly going into the playoff right now, because James Madison, I know they're making jokes on Twitter right now and acting like they're going to get blown out by Oregon, but I'm just saying right now they're dangerous. And I know Oregon's a great team, and I do expect Oregon to win the game and probably by multiple scores, but do not take them lightly. Do not overlook them for Texas Tech, because James Madison is a dangerous team in this playoff.
Even down to the 12th team, man, that's what jumps out to me. There are so many good defenses here in this field. That's really what jumps out at me the most, all the way down to James Madison. And you're sitting there they've got 3 layers of this defense that are really good. You've got Miami at 10, Alabama, and then the top 5 defenses maybe in the country in the first 5 spots. It's really, you're going to see some defensive wars, I'm telling you, in this playoff field.
Man, Walt in the chat talking some smack to us, Dalton, saying, I'm sure these 2 guys from PFF don't know Raiders' Ted Hendricks. We know Ted Hendricks.
Yeah.
Ted Hendricks Award, by the way. Yeah. Best defensive end in the country.
Yeah, why wouldn't we?
Come on now.
We just covered the award the other day. Come on, Walt.
Yeah.
We know exact trust it. Wow.
Trent Hendricks is the linebacker for James Madison, but Ted Hendricks is a legend, obviously. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Come on now, Walt. Come on. Don't think we're not ahead of these things. We got you. I know it's a tough year for the Raiders, but you don't got to take it out on us now. Easy now, all right? The draft is coming. We'll help you out with that. We got you.
We got a mock draft next week, of course. Yeah.
Everyone's got takes. Numbers have truth. And the truth is, most people are betting with emotion. Sportsbooks feed on it. TikTok gurus sell it. The hype machine runs on it. That's how you lose. PFF is different. You're betting with winning data. The same data trusted by all 32 NFL teams and the sharpest minds in the game. PFF betting tools take every prop, every matchup, every angle, and run them through our custom models. Built on the best football data in the world. What comes back is your edge. Simple, sharp, and built to win. Want to go deeper? PFF puts a pro-level analytics department in your hands, giving you the same insights teams use to find every advantage. Build your game plan with matchup analysis. Project every snap, every matchup, and every edge before kickoff, because the smartest plays start long before Sunday. Hit rates show how a player performs against their prop and against defenses built the same way. It's the data that gives you real confidence in every pick. Next, Key Insights translates PFF data into the story behind every matchup, giving you the why that powers your bets. From coverage schemes to defensive looks, it's the context that turns raw numbers into winning decisions. When you're ready to take action, filter through every prop on the market and focus on the opportunities that matter, by game, matchup, or value. Then, shop for the best available line in your area and tap your book of choice to place the bet instantly. Everyone's got takes, but now you've got truth. Bet with data, win with PFF.